Hello, my name is Amy Sturkey. I am a retired pediatric physical therapist, and I'm here with someone that I have been looking so forward to interviewing. This is Lexi, and Lexi is 23 years old now. Now, I've not actually worked with Lexi. Lexi worked with another therapist, so this is like golden time for me to be able to spend some time with her, because she's one of those clients that comes in, you look at her and go, wow, I wish I was working with her. There she goes into someone else's room. Fine. So, Lexi has cerebral palsy from Kernicterus, which is poorly managed by our medical team, jaundice. So, during this interview, Lexi is going to be using a communication device. I provided these questions to her beforehand so that she could, with her team, come up with her answers. I don't know what the answers are, so well, let's see. So first, why don't you tell us something about your communication device and the voice that you're going to be using?
This is a new text-to-speech program I'm using. I love trying out the new voices. How do you like this British AI voice? This is one perk of being an AAC user. I can pick a different voice whenever I want. Most people can't do that convincingly.
I'm not sure if that's Irish or English or that's awesome. This is going to be so much fun already. If someone met you for the first time, what would you want them to know about you?
I would want them to know I am strong, tough, and resilient. For some reason, people often think I'm like a China doll, but I think I'm more like one of those chew-resistant dog toys.
A chew? You're like a chew-resistant dog toy. You know what, that's true, because I think as a physical therapist, I was often pretty physical with my clients. I get them on trampolines and throw them in swings and wrestle with them. And I do think often people are worried that they're going to break. And I think all people want interaction and physicality. Well, maybe not all, but many people, especially if you're working with kids, want physicality and want to move, and movement is something we crave. So I think if you were stuck in your chair all the time, that would be the first thing I'd want, is get me out, let me move freely. That was a perfect answer. What do people get wrong about you?
People seem to think non-speaking means non-thinking. Nothing could be further from the truth. If anything, people who can't talk have more time for thinking. I'd like to tell some people they should try that sometimes. Think before you speak.
Okay, I'm composing myself. So I think that's absolutely right, because I have often been with clients who are in a wheelchair, and people will pat them on their head or speak to the other people instead of them. And I just think that they assume when someone is in a wheelchair or physically involved that they're not thinking. So I appreciate you telling me that. What is something that you can tell me about you that has absolutely nothing to do with your disability?
I like to say that I'm a competitive knife juggler, but I think the word on the street is that that's a lie. I can truthfully say that I'm a voracious reader and often read a book in a day. I started reading and writing when I was under a year old, and I have loved words ever since. Mom and I still write together nearly every day. We are working on our third book now, a middle grade novel that's a mashup between an urban fantasy and a medical mystery. We hope to have that finished this year.
Well, I just finished your book, Fooled, and I want to say thank you, because I'm kind of busy in my life. What a luxury it would be to feel like you have the time to listen to a book almost every day. Because the last fiction book I read before Fooled was your book. So one of the things I really enjoyed about listening to Fooled is how it helped me be in someone else's shoes that was different from me, and to hear what their life frustrations are. So I loved how reading took me into a different place and a different mindset. So thank you so much for living your life of reading lots of books, but then producing a book that helped me see life a little bit more from a different perspective. So Lexi, one of the things I've been thinking about is, seems like over time that you've run into probably a couple of frustrations, but some of them you've probably gotten used to. Can you tell me what still frustrates you?
My body frustrates me every day. The more I try to do something, the harder it gets. That's because of the area of my brain that was injured when I was a baby. I wish I could think my way through it, but that's not how muscle memory works. In fact, the more you think about it, the worse it gets, not better. I don't have an answer to this yet, but I'll keep trying to figure it out. I wish my body had come with a better instruction manual. I'm like, hey, I'm an English speaker, but my instruction manual is in Chinese.
Lexi, you are so... Your instruction manual is in Chinese? That's awesome. But have you read those ones that are when your parents put something together, that the instruction manual that has been translated from Chinese to English? So yours is still totally in Chinese and hasn't been translated yet. That's awesome. I think about the things that frustrate me when I try to do programs and they don't work the way I want, and the harder, sometimes I ask ChatGPT, and the harder I work together with ChatGPT, the harder they get. But for you, it's something that your daily life, when you try to move, that it's not just one program that drives you nuts. I can see where that would be really frustrating. And I bet over time you learn patience, but I could see where that would be like, oh, my body is still doing that thing. Oh. Can you tell me what gives you hope for the future of disability inclusion?
Programs like my inclusive dance company give me hope. They are proof that some people really do want more inclusion and will go the extra mile to make that happen.
I hadn't seen your group perform before, and when I went to the premiere of the release of your book, Fooled, I got to see your dance company, and I loved how more neurotypical people and the people in your group were able to dance together, and how beautiful that was to watch that movement. I think there wasn't a dry eye in the place to see that joy with the movement and to see how well that could work together. So I appreciate you opening that part of the world to me too. So I'm glad that you see inclusion as possibly getting better in the future. And I think the more you get out there, the more that inclusion will happen. Lexi, I am really having a great time talking to you. You've got a great sense of humor. So we are going to continue these questions on the next video. I hope this is helpful. If you want to see more videos with Lexi, you can click up somewhere above Lexi's head, and we'll look forward to talking to you next time. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye. If you liked this video and would like to be notified by email when the next video comes out, click the subscribe button here and click the golden bell icon and ensure notifications are enabled on your account.